The gentle aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the warm scent of pastries, filling the small sunrise cafe with a sense of calm. The afternoon had been unusually quiet, with only a handful of patrons scattered around. Emily, a waitress, felt the hours drag on as she worked tirelessly, cleaning tables and checking on customers. Her mind focused on the rent due in just 2 days. Tips that day had been sparse and nothing more than loose change left behind by distracted diners, too absorbed in their own worlds to notice the woman diligently working. She glanced at the clock on 1 hour left of her shift. The tension of her situation was almost unbearable, but she kept going. Despite the exhaustion, Emily's manager, a woman whose tired eyes spoke volumes without saying a word, gave her a small nod of encouragement. But Emily was already in a routine, going through the motions, her thoughts weighed down by worries about bills, her mother's medical needs, and the constant pressure to stay afloat. Then, the door chimed rang. Emily barely had time to look up before she was greeted by an unexpected sight. A tall, slender young man entered, dressed simply, but with an undeniable air of elegance. Two men trailed closely behind him, their sharp eyes scanning the room as though they were on alert. Emily's heart skipped a beat. She quickly realized this wasn't an ordinary customer. This was Barron Trump, the son of the former president. Though a fleeting moment of surprise overtook her, Emily's professionalism kicked in. She approached his table, doing her best to mask the nervous flutter in her chest. "Good afternoon. May I take your order?" she asked with a warm smile. Barron looked up, and for a moment, something about his calm demeanor put her at ease. "I'll have a cappuccino and perhaps a croissant," he said quietly, his voice polite yet sincere. "Of course. Anything else?" she asked, trying to keep her composure. "No, that will be all. Thank you," he replied, his tone calm, almost reassuring. Emily made the order, her mind racing with questions she didn't have answers to. She couldn't help but steal glances at him as she prepared the drink. There was something different about this encounter, something that felt almost too intimate, though they had barely exchanged words. By the time Emily returned to deliver the cappuccino and croissant, she had regained some control over her nerves. "Here you go," she said, setting the items in front of him. "Thank you," Barron said, offering her a soft smile. Emily, trying to remain composed, nodded and turned to walk away. Then, a strange impulse overtook her. She paused, her eyes meeting his once more. There was something about the way he looked at her, a curious warmth in his gaze. It was as if he truly saw her, not just as a waitress but as a person, someone who mattered. As the hours passed, the cafe remained quiet, the sounds of clinking silverware and low chatter in the background. Barron remained seated, his attention lost in thought, sipping his water and looking out the window. Emily could sense that this was no ordinary day, no ordinary customer. She couldn't explain it, but her heart began to race as she watched him. The rest of Emily's shift passed uneventfully, but something lingered in the air, an energy she couldn't quite place. As she cleared tables and refilled sugar jars, she noticed Barron pull out a pen and begin writing something on his receipt. He worked quickly, almost as though he didn't want to be noticed. He folded the paper neatly, placed it under his empty coffee cup, and stood up. Emily continued to move around the cafe, but her thoughts kept drifting back to him. When Barron passed her on his way out, he smiled softly. "Have a good day," he said, his words lingering with more sincerity than she expected. "Thank you for stopping by," Emily replied, but her voice felt distant as she watched him leave. Once he had exited, the quiet of the cafe returned, and Emily finally approached his table to clear it. As she lifted the empty cup, something caught her eye, a receipt with a note written in neat handwriting. She picked it up, expecting a generous tip, but what she saw made her heart stop. There, at the bottom of the receipt, was a 4-digit number, along with a handwritten message. "Your kindness and hard work don't go unnoticed. My family has been where you are. Stay strong. Brighter days are ahead." Emily's hands shook as she read it again, and her heart felt full. It wasn't the money that moved her, it was the message. She felt seen for the first time in weeks. This wasn't just a tip. This was a reminder that someone cared, someone understood. Barron had no idea what those words meant to her. Overwhelmed, Emily sank into the chair where Barron had been sitting, staring at the receipt. Tears welled up in her eyes. For the first time in months, she felt as though she wasn't invisible. She wasn't alone. Emily carefully tucked the note into her apron pocket. Wiping away her tears, she sat there for a few moments, lost in the unexpected kindness she had received. When her manager approached, concern etched on her face. Emily quickly wiped her eyes and forced a weak smile. "What happened?" her manager asked, noticing the tears. "I'm fine," Emily replied, though her voice was shaky. "It's just a very large tip." Her manager raised an eyebrow skeptically. "Large enough to make you cry?" Emily nodded, unfolding the receipt to show her. The manager gasped when she saw the amount. Then slowly read the note. "This can't be real. Who left this?" she asked, her voice full of disbelief. "The guy in the corner," Emily said, still in shock. "Barron Trump." Her manager frowned. "Barron Trump? As in the Barron Trump?" "Yes," Emily confirmed, still not fully understanding why someone like Barron would leave her such a note. "It's not just about the money," Emily added, handing the note over. "It's what he wrote. It's the kindness." Her manager read the note silently, her expression softening. She whispered, "This is really special." Emily agreed, folding the receipt carefully. She hadn't realized just how much she needed to hear those words until the moment. She had been struggling in silence, putting on a brave face, hiding the weight of her responsibilities. But Barron's message reminded her that even when it feels like no one notices, someone might be watching, someone might see the goodness in you, even when you can't see it in yourself. As the rest of the shift passed, word of the note and the generous tip spread. Emily's co-workers whispered excitedly as they gathered around the counter. One barista came up to her with wide eyes. "Is it true?" she asked. "Did he really leave you that note?" Emily smiled faintly. "Yes, he did, and he was very kind." But she didn't want to share too much. The note felt too personal, too sacred to be shared with everyone. For now, it was hers alone, and that small gesture, that unexpected kindness, would stay with her forever. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends, to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.